Hello, it's Karen, the Weekend Craftaholic, and today I want to revisit an old video I've done. I'll put a link down below in case you've not seen it, but this is making an exploding card using my CRICUT. Now of course you don't need a CRICUT to do this. You can obviously cut this out yourself. I'll put all the sizes down below, but I use my CRICUT for this, and you can see that I have just made almost like cross shapes that go in smaller and smaller to make this expanding box. I'll also put the link to CRICUT Design Studio on here because this is also available in the community section of CRICUT if you wanted to use your CRICUT machine, and if you did want to use it on another machine like a Silhouette or whatever, there'll also be a Dropbox link as well. Okay, so this is the cut pieces all constructed. Now of course you can use your machine to also score these, but I do find from a paper crafting point of view that the CRICUT is a little bit obviously it's not very hands-on, and I do love when I'm paper crafting I want to be involved in the paper, so I like to score these myself. So you can see here, pretty simple, just scoring them and folding them over at those points. So we've almost got 5 different square shapes all connected to make a cross. So you can make as many layers as you like. Of course, if you're doing this yourself, you can just go in 1/2 inch each time, for example, to have as many layers as you want. Now I've just used I think 3 or 4 different patterned, double-sided pattern papers for this. Don't do what I did and make a mistake. Double check your how the pattern paper matches. So I've done it in a kind of order that I like, but then I realised these 2 pieces, for example, are now back to back when these are glued on in the centre. So you might want to alternate them a little bit better than I did. I was just trying to save space, save paper. I did move some of these layers rather than having 6 mats onto 4, just by moving them onto the mats, because as you can see, some of them are really tiny. So I'm just going to put that to one side just to set and dry. In the meantime, I'm just opening this latest collection. It's Uniquely Creative Into the Wild. If you saw my last craft haul video, you'll know that this is probably the first scrapbook kit I have bought in about 12 months. Absolutely loved it, and you can see here what's included in the kit. I did buy a few extras as well just to go along with it, and you can see there's lots of fussy cutting pages as well as the normal scrapbooking pages as well. Now these are vellum pieces. I love these because they're all I've got adhesive on the back as well, and you'll see I just wanted to show you my process here, because whenever I'm opening any kind of embellishments I do like to sort them out with the florals and the sentiments and then any of the smaller pieces separately. I'm not going to show you all of my fussy cutting, but I'm also going to cut some of these out as well and use my punch to cut some of the circles out, just so you get a flavour of all of the. You will need lots of embellishments to decorate this, of course. So I'm just testing that they fold quite nice. I've got my little tray there along with my alphas and my bling. If you watch my channel you know I love adding these little rhinestones and things to any of my craft projects, and then this is really where the fun begins. I've obviously sped this up quite a lot for you, because it is quite a long video actually for me. I don't normally do videos so long, but I wanted to show you the entire process. And as I mentioned, this is where the fun begins, because for every one of those sides and those folds, the idea of course is to decorate them. So whichever way you want to go, I like to start across widths and then start to work my way out onto the bigger pieces, because I always find the smaller pieces are harder to decorate. Now I won't talk through all of this section because it's pretty self-explanatory. All I would say is make use of any other bits and bobs you've got around the place. So you've seen I've just used a little bit of I think it's raffia, I'm not quite sure. I've had it in my stash for ages. There's also other things you can obviously use. Here I've got some tissue paper, for example, and you see later on I use things like ribbon and twine as well. So definitely, because this needs so much embellishing, it's a great stash buster. So if you've got supplies in your craft room that you've been wanting to use for a while, then this is definitely the project for that. I absolutely love the way you can use lots of little things in this just to make it a little bit more interesting for the recipient. So this card is actually for a good friend of mine. I'm going back to the UK soon and it will be her 80th birthday, and so I think she's absolutely going to love this. And of course I was able to personalise it by putting her name on, and the fact that she's turning 80, so what an achievement. If there is any reason to go the extra mile to make a card, it's definitely something for these occasions, I believe. So I hope this is going to inspire you. I'm going to let you watch the rest of it while I just play some music. Now I've left this last little aside, that's where I'm going to write my personal message, but of course you could always slip some little pockets in there as well to have as somewhere to put a private message if you like. So that is a little box done. What I'm going to do now, I'm just going to grab some ribbon. Because I'm taking this to the UK, I'm not going to leave it constructed. I need to be able to take it while it's nice and flat. But I just want to show you how I'm going to finish this off for when you do yours. So I've got some of this Christmas ribbon. It's almost like twine or taffeta itself. And this is what I'm going to use just to wrap it around. Now, of course, you could make a box lid for this or just put it in a box as well. I absolutely like to leave it open. I think it's a little bit more interesting that way. You don't want them to think they're going to get a gift, a present as such, so I think doing it this way for me helps them realise that it is just a 3D card, but you'll see what I do with the inside shortly. But this is me just desperately trying to tie it up without tying it up permanently, just to show you and the kind of overall effect of it. So that is a little box card done. You can see I've just stuffed a little tulle and some nice sparkling netting in there as well, just to kind of hide what's inside until they open it. But you could also do the same with tissue paper as well, or maybe even some chocolates and things. So I hope you like that, and I hope to see you again soon. Thanks for watching.